Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm going to be having a look at the brand new White Dwarf magazine. It's just come out and it's quite exciting. It's very different. Before we do that, we have the obligatory mug. So today we have a nice Boba Fett mug that my friend Starley bought me. Very cool. So there you go. For more updates on other mugs I own, please see previous videos. Right, so before we have a look at the new one, let's have a quick backtrack over White Dwarf through the ages, because I have a few here. Firstly, we have the White Dwarf that introduced me to it all. And this will give you an idea of, when we look at the new one, where it's come from, what it's gone through, the changes, etc, etc, etc. So this is issue 175, and this is, if I remember, July 1994, so it's quite old, and it is tatty as hell, and it is my first ever issue, and I have managed to keep it, so that's pretty cool. So anyone want a job in telesales, just check that guy out. So yeah, you can see it's all old metal models and stuff like that, black and white, or free colour, green included. Yeah, so it's really basic. Loads of adverts scattered throughout. It's just more adverts. Yeah, and in total it's around, they stopped doing the page numbers in the catalogue. Yeah, that's the other thing, you've got a catalogue at the back with all the things. The idea would be you print it out and hole punch these, stick them in a file, and then you'd have the entire catalogue. Look, mail order form. Used to, before the internet, we had to fill out a form and phone up and stuff like that, or send it off. Those are releases. It's just adverts galore. It's the actual content was so light. Now there's page 69, and so yeah, it's such a light magazine. Look, more adverts. So that's what it used to be. The art was amazing. So many people would have such a nostalgic look to this magazine, going, it was the best, this, that, and the other. And do you know what? I do as well. I like it, but I have to admit they've done better. So then we come up to like the mid 90s, I think, or early 2000s maybe. Where's the date? Can't see it. March. Okay, we'll just go with March. But yeah, it'll be late 90s, early 2000s. And, you know, we've got, it kind of looks a little bit more cartoony, massive, like, corner flashes and, you know, kind of graphics and stuff like that, advert. And, yeah, starting to get more plastic models, but still lots of metal models, metal. Look at that font. It's yeah, let's use the handwriting font. It just looks really childish, and yeah, I mean, they've got some rules in here. No points, so you can't use it in a game. So that is something White Dwarf did for years. It's only in recent years they've started giving you the points. Although saying that, there you go, just corrected me. There's some points. So yeah, I think that's because the rules for this didn't come out in the codex, so they had to release it in the magazine. Beltan Craft World Army. Some more stuff. Less adverts in this one, which is good. Tale of Four Gamers. Anyone remember that? So yeah, it gives you an idea of where it come from. Store listings, adverts, computer gaming, advert. So yeah, I mean, quite interesting. Battle report, excellent battle report maps, very easy to follow, work out who's been shot, who's died, where the models have moved. Very cool maps, really like those. Epic versions of the 40k armies, so you can replay it in Epic. Yeah, and then the mail order sections as well, so they still had this. And that is a few years later from the other one. Then we come up to more the I've left it in the other room. 2 secs, be right back. And I'm back, and here we have this was like the dawn of the new era. This was when Jez Bickham, the current White Dwarf editor, took over and made his mark on the magazine. And we can see it's thick, it's good. It's compared to like the early 2000s and then even the early 90s. It's just so much thicker and better and really good. And you can see like it's really nicely laid out, great big photographs, lovely photography, like really nice, well lit, like stunning dynamic photography, just beautiful pictures to look at. And you know, White Dwarf had come along so far. We still had the bat reports, but they were like kind of different. They didn't use the maps, they used photographs. So that's okay, you can still work it out, but without seeing the death casualties on the pictures and you know where the units have moved from, those little graphics would really help follow the action. But yeah, this one I've grabbed is quite cool because, if I find the page, have I gone past it? I've gone past it. Here we go. I'm actually featured as Army of the Month. Oh, face. And so yeah, there's my Army of the Month. Quite cool. Nice feature. This was a feature they introduced in this new style of magazine where they really reached out to the community, and people like me who don't work for Games Workshop suddenly had a chance of being in the magazine. I love that photograph. That is so cool. Yeah, so this was like a big deal for me, and it led to many more appearances in the magazine. And yeah, so this was a brilliant step forward. Then, to many, it started going wrong. And it started going wrong when they switched to a weekly format with a monthly magazine. And all of a sudden you thought, oh wow, incredible, I'm going to get a weekly fix of White Dwarf and still get my monthly magazine. But it didn't work out, because whilst the weekly is amazing because it gave you so much hobby content, it was just brilliant. You had painting guides, you had all the new releases, which obviously we need to know what's coming out, so that was really cool. You had some articles like this amazing Golden Demon one, some tables, stuff like that. It was really random, and there'd be paint guides and rules and points values, and that was like every week. And towards the end of this, the run of this, they managed to get deliveries out, so you would get this delivered to your door every week. They done fantastically well with this, and it was a big hit with me. I absolutely adored it. I thought weekly was fantastic. Visions was a different kettle of fish completely. It's a coffee book table. It's what you leave on your coffee table to have a little flick through, and it's the odd caption with loads of photography. Now, I was praising the photography in the other magazine, and it's the same level of photography in a smaller format, but it's kind of too small. And I think I think White Dwarf were listening, because they changed to a larger size. Oh, this is another one of my Army of the Month appearances. So this was my Hobbit collection. So they carried on that feature. So if you wanted the Army of the Month feature, you had to buy Visions. It wasn't in the weekly one. So yeah, stunning photography still, absolutely amazing, really, really cool. But just no content, as it were. I mean, for inspiration, you could pick this up and just be blown away by the work. But it's all on the internet. All my work's on the internet. All these people, they post on online. So there just wasn't anything that would make you want to go out and spend £7.50 on a magazine. On top of that, you're spending £2.40 every week. So your monthly amount was crazy. They tried to rectify the smaller scale by bringing in a larger format Visions, which it's exactly the same, just bigger, which is better because it's the same price. You're not paying anything extra for the larger size, but you are getting better quality, bigger pictures. And this is turning into a bit of a self-promotion, because this is another one of my Army of the Months. This one is my Tyrannid, so I'm going to quickly show off my absolutely incredible Tyrannid. No photo, they dropped that. That is probably because of my face. They said no more photos. He's broken the magazine with his face, so no more faces. But yeah, just absolutely stunning. Just being able to have a chance of being in the magazine. Once again, community side of it, you cannot fault White Dwarf. They're at every Warhammer World convention. So if you go to the Warhammer World opening day, if you go to the Warhammer 40k open day, Forge World open day, White Dwarf always have a stand. They always have a couple of members of staff. They always have participation games. They have their armies there to show off, and you can just talk to them. And every time I go over, and I make sure I talk to either Dan or Jez, and I can feed back my thoughts on the magazine, talk to them about my models if they'd be interested in any more. So they're really approachable, they're great guys, and it just went off the rails a little bit. We went from a really cool monthly magazine to this catalogue and weekly, and we were spending a fortune on this. If you were buying every single one, you've gone from £5.50 to £2.40 times 4 plus £7.50. It's crazy. It was a lot of money. I was a subscriber, so that made it cheaper, but it was still more than that. And that brings us up to date with what Games Workshop have gone back to. Ta-da! They have gone back to a monthly format, a thick magazine, and from the looks of it, free gifts. We have a new model. Well, it's not a new model. They're actually it's one of the Slaughter Priest Citadel miniature, and it is stunning. And now these, I think they sell for 15 quid on the Games Workshop web store. So to get that for free, that's fantastic. Now that's not going to be every month, sadly, but they do give away models. They have listened to the community, and they do know that that to give away models is a big hit. They recently gave away an Age of Sigmar Stormcast Eternal when they launched Age of Sigmar last year. So it does seem they have the budget for regular models. So that's great. But skipping straight to the end, next month is a free comic. So are we going to get free gifts every month? Who knows? Who knows? But let's have a look at the magazine. So this is where we are. We're up to date. We are September 2016. I can't see a issue number, so I think they're dropping the issue number, which is a shame, because that might make it really difficult when they want to celebrate their 500th issue or their, whatever. So here we are. We're up to date. Warhammer, the Ultimate Warhammer magazine. Is it? Let's have a look. So here we go. We've got all the staff who work on the magazine. That's quite nice. They've gone back to actually listing and crediting people. They went for a phase where they took out everyone's names from the magazine. I think it was because some employees at Games Workshop head office were getting bad press on the internet. The internet are terrible for that. They get hold of a little gem of, not even gem, a little grit of bad negativity, and they'll run with it. So when Matt Ward did the whole Blood Angels teaming up with Necrons in the Blood Angel Codex, the internet got hold of that, and they just attacked Matt Ward. After that, it was a free-for-all for Matt Ward. He was the poster boy for negativity on the internet. It was ridiculous. And I think Games Workshop realised that, so they took all the names out. There was no more designer notes. There were no more, this person painted this. Unless you were a member of the public, like myself, then you'd get a name check. Anyone else, no. So they've gone back to crediting the talented sculptors, artists, and writers of Games Workshop, and they are now getting the full credit they deserve. So let's have a look. So the contents you can see here, we have latest news, in stores now, contacts, heavy metal, Tale of Four Warlords, Hall of Fame, Army of the Month. These are all the best features. They're all coming back. We have a cover feature, so it's Box Games Bonanza. So the cover feature is all these games are getting new rules, including rules for using your free models. So we have Golden Demon, more Golden Demon painting, brilliant. Illuminations. So this is looking at the Death Watch. So they're being released this month. So that kind of fits in with the Planet Warhammer latest news, but a bit more of an in-depth look. Epic Gaming, we're getting a battle report. Ultimate Guide to Imperial Knights. So we're going to get a feature every month where they focus on one area. This is great because this means stuff like races that haven't had any love for a long time, like Tyranids or something like that, they might get a spotlight occasionally that, you know, will really help out. Temporal Distort, prepare for nostalgia as we flash back in time to 1996. This is as if White Dwarf knew I was going to be reviewing this, and nostalgia was going to play a part. They've included it in here. Battleground, we've got Blanchitsu, Parade Ground for Kill Team, Sprues and Glues, Paint Splatter, and then you've got your subscriptions. We've got some designer's notes at the end. Readers Models is still in here, as well as Army of the Month. So this is like all of these in one magazine. They've managed to do it. That's ticking all my boxes so far. That is fantastic. We're getting rules, we're getting paint guides, we're getting battle reports, we're getting free models, we are getting... It's fantastic. So let's have a quick flick through the magazine. And let's talk about layout first. They've gone for this mainly a 2-column layout to keep the paragraphs reasonably short to make it easy to read. They've got lots of pull-out captions along with the pictures. So already just this double-page spread has more text in it than the whole of Warhammer Visions, and more information. And you've got little sidebar pictures, little pull-outs, little nuggets of jokiness to... You know, they're saying 5 things we love in September, and that follows through to somewhere else. Here, you know, they're talking about the weather, even though they write this so far in advance. Yeah, it's just, look, we've got 5 questions for John French, the author of some of the Horus Heresy books. It's, look, Model of the Month. It's way more interactive. It's way more interesting. Look, just like a little fun graph. That doesn't take any time to do, but it's more, rather than giving us a paragraph of text, they've given us something that just looks looks like there's been a bit of love, a bit of care, a bit of how can we ramp this up to 11, you know, and I think they're doing it. I think it's really good. We've got the prices so we know what everything is. Nice pictures of the models, close-ups. It's no obscured photography or anything like that. It's so much better. We've got the games. So let's get through this. This is a long section. And some people are going to treat this section as an advert. They're going to go, that's just an advert. Well, yeah, it is. But we need this. We need to know what's coming out. Now, this is an actual advert. So, since Visions and the Weekly, we've gone back to adverts. Now, we've just got all the information we need here. And we then get another page of that. So we get an advert. This is interesting because they didn't cover this in that. So it is of use. 2 pages though. It does look nice as a spread, but I'm not sure. Considering we just got all this, they could have just had 1 page. Is that filler? Not sure. It does mean they end on a double-page spread. They go straight into a spread. And more Garfy promotion. I'm actually one of the first letters. There's my name there, and there's a picture. If you want to read it, you might be able to pause it. If you can't read it because the video's not good enough, you'll have to buy the magazine. But yeah, Jez contacted me from my, because I've been in White Dwarf several times now. They contacted me and asked if I wanted to write a letter. I had no idea at the time, this was like months ago, near the beginning of the year. I had no idea they were going to redo a whole magazine. I just thought they was going to add a letters page to weekly or something. So to be one of the first letters, that is a true honour. I'm really happy. So that's really cool. So heavy metal feature, fantastic. We get to see some close ups of the heavy metal models and what they've been working on. And look, we're getting their thoughts, we're getting their names, we know who worked on what. So when we go to these open days or Golden Demon or Games Day and we bump into these people, we can congratulate them on the work they worked on. For instance, when I went to the last Warhammer 40k open day, I was talking to Phil Kelly and I couldn't talk to him about anything because I didn't know what he'd worked on. He wasn't credited for anything. I had to ask him what he's working on. So this is better. This is much better. Tale of Four Warlords. We're back in it. We are here. This is fantastic. Here you go. They've mentioned the old versions, which we touched upon in the other magazine. And yeah, we just, every month, it looks like, for the next 6 months, we're going to follow these guys on their adventures through Age of Sigmar. Brilliant. That's going to be really good. Each person's write-up, it's very short. Could be a bigger feature if you ask me. But maybe it will grow. Maybe this is like the first month. Maybe they'll start showing more pictures, bigger close-ups of some of the bigger models maybe. Let's wait and see. Hall of Fame, not terribly old model, but a worthy addition, if you ask me. Nagash. Here we go. They've kept the pull-out from Visions. So you get Army of the Month. Not mine this month, I'm afraid. I don't own any Elder. But who knows, maybe in the future I'll get another opportunity to share some of my models. Because that'd be cool, getting a double-page spread. A double-page fold-out. Yeah, so let's skip some, because this is dragging on a bit and I don't want people to be bored. So, yeah, loads of detail. Here's the Box Games Bonanza. We're getting rules, we're getting cutouts, we're getting, you know, all these you can cut out and fold and glue together and stuff like that. This is something they did in the 90s as well. They actually had a card insert. That was the best because it was perforated and you can just pop them out. But it's still really cool. More missions, advert. I guess they've got to advertise their stuff, but as long as it doesn't impinge on page count, you know, and we still get the filler, all killer, no filler. Look, new rules for Assassinorium Execution Force, Gore Chosen. We're getting so this is the model you get free. You're getting rules for him to use in Silver Tower, in Gore Chosen. It's fantastic. And I think his rules for Age of Sigmar are free anyway, so you can get that on the app. More rules. This is brilliant. This is absolute top-notch stuff that everyone could use. Rules for using the new Deathwatch flyer in Stormcloud Attack. An advert. I guess they've got to end each article with an advert. The problem with this is next month we're going to get hit with the same advert, and that's going to get boring very quickly. We're going to get the same. They'll use this as a base. They'll have these in the right place. I almost guarantee next month this advert will be in the same place, or some of the adverts will be in the same place in the magazine, because they'll just leave them there and work over the top of the old mag. Golden Demon, very cool. This is the Horus Heresy models. Deathwatch, so we get Illuminations is the artwork. So some of this artwork is stunning. So that's just great just to look at without having to buy the codex. They're going to give you a teaser of that. It's brilliant. Oh, look at that. Fantastic. Brimfire Ritual. This is the battle report. Very clearly labelled what's what without having any kind of extra clumsy clutter on the sides. You just work your way through the text and you can work out who's who. Can't see the Slaughter Priest in there. Don't think they're using the new model. That's the old one. So not using the free one. But there you go. So here we go. Here's the battle report. So this is quite cool because we can actually see the models and where they're all deployed. But doesn't seem to be any kind of detail. Ah, yes. Here we go. We have arrows. That's a big help. So all of a sudden we can see where stuff was without having to go, where was it? Oh, it's moved over there. Was that one? So that's really good. So they are moving it along. I think we need little crosses or skulls to show what was killed. There's some ritual stuff here, which is part of the battle report. But if they could just put little, this guy died on the previous picture, I think that would really help. Some close-ups. It's a really big, long battle report. It's a good few pages. It looks like it's over by turn 4, and then you have the an advert, another advert. Ultimate Guide to Imperial Knights. I wonder if there's an advert for Imperial Knights at the end of this. Well, that's like an advert. It's really cool, really in depth. Hey, no advert, brilliant. So that's good. This is the temporal distort. This is the looking back, and this is like looking at one of the old issues, and this is 1996, and it's really cool to see where the models have come from and what it used to be like. Look, here we go, cut out war gear cards and stuff, rules. Some awesome artwork from John Blanche, really dictating where Chaos Space Marines would evolve and go to. Here's got a nice table, battleground. Now, I think this is going to be more achievable for White Dwarf to continue this. This is like 12 issues a year. They've got to find 12 battlegrounds. They've got to find... It's going to be, rather than 52 issues of weekly, they're going to have so much more... They can really put more quality content into it when you've only got to do it 12 times a year. So it's definitely going to be better. Kill Teams, a little bit about this, the new game that's coming out. This is quite cool. I really like Jez's Tyranids, so shout out to him for those. Yeah, Sprues and Glue. I tend to always skip these. I don't find gluing models together particularly interesting, but I will have a little look, especially the Death Watch, because I'm working on my own Death Watch. So, but kit bashing is nowadays it's just swapping parts out, whereas to me converting was using parts and green stuff to make something that where you couldn't actually tell where the parts came from. These just look like models from the box. I don't actually... They probably are just models from the box. They don't actually show any kind of real conversion. It's... I mean, this is a captain model, you can see that, but it's, I don't know. Doesn't interest me. Paint splatter, some detailed Citadel paint system techniques. We've got some actual information on how to do it, and then this is quite basic. These are more like paint recipes, which is still handy, and they'll tell you what brush to use, and that will correspond with the technique, and so it is possible to do it. But I think people long for the detailed masterclasses of the heavy metal team. That would be a several page article for one model, and it would just literally go into crazy detail. And then once that magazine came out, they did a Zench demon, and that next month on all the message boards, all you'd see is that same model in the same paint scheme as everyone copied it. It's the same with the Sanguinator, the golden Blood Angel model. That was in one of these heavy metal masterclass books. Everyone's painted that. Subscribe to White Dwarf. There's savings to be made if you do that, and it gets delivered. It gets delivered early as well. So I actually got this a week before anyone else. So I'm quite late to the party reviewing it. Here we go. We have designer's notes. Brilliant. Names, faces, information. Absorb it. It's what we want. That's what we love doing. We love this hobby, and we just want to know all about it. Looks like next time I bump into Phil at a open day, I can ask him about Death Watch, because I now know he worked on it with Robin Crudace. Here we go, more details, really cool. Readers models. Oops, there's me again. Oh god, embarrassing. So I actually managed to get some Death Watch models into the magazine, which was awesome. As well as my colleague from Tale of Painters, Amy Snuggs. She's managed to get her Fire Slayers and her Ogre or Lead Belchers into the magazine. So that is really cool. this is one of my favourite pages. Not because I'm in it, but because I get to see what people that I follow online get recognition. So it's fantastic for Amy. I'm really pleased for her, and all these other guys as well. And you might see something like this and go, "Oh, that's really cool," and you might look him up, because most people have got an online presence. The type of people that are able to photograph their their models to a quality good enough for the magazine, tend to post them on blogs and stuff like that. So yeah, this is quite cool. Lots of great pictures of people's models. Warhammer World, if you've never been, definitely go. It's a fantastic place. It's brilliant for a day out, and you can get drinking Bugmans, you can play in the gaming hall. There's stores for Forge World, there's stores for Black Library, there's a Games Workshop store, and you really do see just people walking around. So you might bump into people that you see in the magazines and stuff like that. It's where they work, you know. It's brilliant. So. And then we've got an In the Bunker here, more Death Watch, stuff like that. And then we've got what's going on next month. So that's brilliant. That's the end of the magazine. Lovely photograph. There you go. So, conclusion, final summing up. We have got the magazine we have wanted for so long. This is all of the best of everything that's come before it. This is the magazine. What more do you want? Go out and buy it. It's $5.99, so it's on a par with most magazines that are out there. But the content is brilliant. You're going to get bored of the adverts after a while. They're going to be the same adverts every month. I hope they don't. I hope they change it around. But they've got to make their money. They've got to advertise their products. But the whole magazine is one big advert. You don't need an advert at the end of a article, because people know what they are. So if you're going to add an advert for something that's not in the magazine. You know, something, you know, chuck in, if this is mainly 40k this issue, chuck in an Age of Sigmar advert, mix it up a little bit. It just makes more sense. So there you go. That's my review. Hope you liked it. Please subscribe and like this video. Check out Tale of Painters, the blog. Just search Tale of Painters on Google, you'll find it. I'll put links in the description of this video. Check out Paint Your Game support group on Facebook. More links in the description. And yeah, just let me know if you liked it. Thank you very much. That's all from me.